And Cassidy Hutchinson joins us now live in studio. Her new book is titled Enough. In it, she reveals much more of what it was like to be a part of the Trump administration and new details around January 6th. Cassidy, good morning. It's great to meet you.
Good morning. It's good to meet you.
So let's talk first about that day, July 28th, 2022. You write in this book, you had already given your deposition, so you wondered why they couldn't just run the clips of that in the January 6th hearing. You weren't sure you wanted to be the sole witness that day sitting out there. Right up until the moment you went out, you said you were looking out at that room and that crowd, and you knew how your life was about to change, and you hesitated. What pushed you out there? Why did you think it was important to testify?
Well, thank you for the kind introduction. There was a physical force and there was a metaphorical force. First, it actually took a little bit of force from my attorney. I turned back to my attorney right before the doors opened, and I turned back to my attorney, Bill, and I was like, do I have to do this? And I wanted to dash. I just had this last minute surge of anxiety, and he said, yes, and really pushed me out. But, you know, I also knew that it was important to be there that day. I knew it was important to have a voice that would be able to speak truths to what actually happened inside the West Wing that day. And that was a conversation I had with Congresswoman Liz Cheney the night before the live testimony. And you know, it was this really profound moment for me when she said that it's important for women and little girls to see that we can have people and women who speak truth to power. And I think that we're in this era where we are in this crisis of accountability, and to have somebody that's there that can speak to those truths, it was important. I knew it was. I was just a little bit nervous to do so.
Of course, understandably so. What really strikes you reading through this book, and there's a ton of new stuff in here as well, is that were you 24 on January 6th? 24 years old. You're 24, and all these alleged leaders, most of them men, throughout the West Wing, in the Capitol, who'd been around Washington for a long time, as they were cowering, you were the one sort of running around saying, we have to do something here. This is going to get bad. This is going to get ugly. And indeed, it did. What was it like for you in those moments, in those days, to look around and Mark Meadows, your boss, a guy you knew and respected for a long time, was literally sitting on the couch saying, the big guy, Trump, doesn't want us to do anything. And you said, okay, the chief of staff isn't going to do anything on January 6th. This is on me, a 24-year-old aide. What did it feel like to have that pressure on your shoulders that day?
You know, I didn't look at it like that at the time, because the job itself for a lot of people that work in a White House, and Jen, I know that you have experience with this as well.
Yes, I do. But we've had a lot of similar experiences. Me, not on the grand scale as you, but yes, a lot of common.
It's apples to oranges, but you know, in that job, looking back with hindsight, I see it from a different perspective now. But in those days, I saw it as my job to be the person to get things done no matter what it took. So in those moments, I saw it as my duty and obligation just to help Mark be able to facilitate something so we didn't have a bigger crisis that day. Looking back now, you know, I see that there is a lack of leadership, and there was a lack of leadership that day. I don't view it as, I don't have some hero complex over here that I saved anything on January 6th at all. January 6th was a terrible day, and I live with the guilt of being complicit and possibly instrumental in a lot of what led up to January 6th. Part of the reason I wrote this book was to shed light on the fact that I didn't just land in the chair on June 28th when I testified. It took a long time to get there. It took a long time to be able to process this and to come to terms with what we did and how it was so severe and the threat that it posed on our democracy.
You write in the book you were a proud Republican, proud conservative, turned down to politics by the 2012 presidential campaign when Mitt Romney was running. You were proud to get the job in the Trump White House. You had respect for Donald Trump. You worked alongside him. When did that turn? When did that change? When did you feel like the things we've tolerated for these first three and a half years, and that's just Donald Trump being Donald Trump, and as you write in the book, were amusing in some ways to the staff. When did that change for you? When did it get more serious and you thought to yourself, I've got to do something here?
There was a shift in me on January 6th that I don't think I was fully cognizant to at the time. But, you know, again, it took a while to get to the point where I was able to fully admit all those truths to myself. And I wrestled with, in my mind, with, was it us? And it's the Trump world mentality where I was like, I fell into that, and there's nothing wrong with it necessarily, but it's not how I felt. And it really was that year and a half between the administration ending and going to testify and being more forthcoming with the committee that I realized that I wasn't going to be able to live with myself, because this wasn't the Republican Party that I felt like I was a part of. This isn't the public service that I had seen myself, that I had envisioned a career being with. So, I think that the points of reflection that I've had helped bring me to these moments, but I'm still working through a lot of those things.
The moments in the book, and we heard them in your testimony, when Mark Meadows, his cowardice that day, his weakness that day, inability to do anything. On page 321, you say, Mark needs to snap out of this. He needs to care. Were you surprised by his cowardice on that day? Was that the guy you had known?
When I looked in the moment, I also deliberately tried to write the book alongside my collaborator, Mark Salter, who is a phenomenal human being and was able to help pull this story out of me in ways that I would never have been able to do on my own. But I tried to write the book in real time, how I was actually thinking in those moments. In those moments, I wasn't necessarily thinking that Mark was being a coward. I was thinking, is he shocked? Is he stunned? Does he not know what's going on? Does he not know what he can do? How can I help him? Is he scared? Again, I don't want to speculate about his mindset that day. I don't know exactly how he was feeling that day. I would want to leave that to him, and I don't want to self-assign adjectives to how he may or may not feel that he was being. I'll leave that to the experts to do. But I was more alarmed and upset, and I felt for him, because he was the chief of staff, but he also was sort of instrumental in these moments too. And at the time, how I saw it, a chief of staff is only as good as the people who serve him. A president is only as good as the people who serves the president. Yeah.
Well, it was, in your book and all the reporting we've had too, he just, whatever Donald Trump needed, that's what he did. And it came to a head on that day, on the 6th.